Kentucky Rob has a question for you, Lex. Have you ever been out to Macau to play the cash games there?
I haven't been yet. I might go because the games are really good, but I hear that the difference between the games is really big. So either you play 10-20 and kind of a bad game, or you play like 500-1000. So I don't know. I don't know if I feel like hanging around for 8 days just if a good game comes up, stuff like that. But you know, I mean, there's so much happening there. I should check it out regardless. I mean, there's some good tournaments there too.
Second time we've seen Mika limp his button. Danchev checked. Mika now bets 200,000 on the flop after Danchev checked to him. And what's Danchev doing here?
725.
I like it. Raises 745,000 total, and it gets the job done. And a question on Twitter from Rui: is it just me, or is the guy in the hat and red shirt getting frisky with the girl next to him?
Oh, he's checking her out.
It looks like she just ran away terrified, and believe me, I know that look.
He's like, you think it was my belly?
She's not into you, bro.
Poor girl.
Poor guy, come on.
Raise, 325.
She's totally tattling on him now.
Yeah.
This guy was so gross.
9 of spades, 8 of hearts, 4 of clubs.
Check.
Roll check.
Surprised he defends 8-6 offsets.
10 of clubs.
Bet
450 down.
Those percentages obviously not correct. This is not currently a split pot.
Danchev open-ended now.
Really bad turn from Mika. Also means that any bet he's gonna call. Oh, Mika bets. All right. Wait. Wait, what? He didn't fold a jack, right?
Yeah, my guess
Mika
is
bet
that
450,000. Danchev folded.
But he had an open-ended though.
So this is the moment that George Clyde Smith made his move on the blonde. We're not sure what he said, but it made her run extremely quickly.
And right there, she recounts the tale to her pals, who have now formed a phalanx around her.
I mean, did he just fold an open-ended though?
I don't know. It would appear so if we're gonna trust.
Because it's also very easy because the turn is a 10, so it's an overcard to the flop. If you call there, you can still rep a 10 if somebody folds. So it's a very good card to peel because you can still rep some decent pairs too when somebody checks you on the river.
Christopher on Twitter says, give Nicola a shout out for being a loyal follower and a friend to Danchev, although Danchev's sweater isn't too good looking.
What did the guy say to you?
What? He said I'd like to. And also on the back of it.
I'm not quite sure whether George Clyde Smith is just frustrated about the fact that his buddy Mika is losing this heads-up battle, or if he's regretting whatever that chat-up line was.
Oh, he's probably frustrated about plenty. Maybe he'll just work his way down the rail. That's what I would do.
Raise.
Yeah, go to the Eastern European side of things.
325,000, you will win this spot.
I've already decided, by the way, when it comes to the pickup world, like later on, if I'm at the Poker Stars party and I start talking to a girl and she doesn't immediately pretend to be a lesbian and dance up on one of her friends, I count that as a win.
Yeah, I'll high-five you.
Yeah. That's
Maybe
like better than I usually do.
I would give you a hug, but she probably runs off then.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That's if I can even get into this party.
I got you, bro.
It's a flip.
Raise and take it for Danchev there.
Probably not too happy with it, with that hand.
So updated stats, and remember this specifically refers to heads-up play.
It's around the same. that it was a little while back. Mika sticking to his game plan. His 3-bet went a little down, but I guess that's because his post-flop, he has a lot of confidence in it now, so no reason to try to take them pre-flop that much.
We're now 67 hands into heads-up play.
Raise 325. Joe, you got 100K sitting in front. Very, very front.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yep.
Another raise and take it. Looks like Clyde Smith's back at it. Hey, baby, did you know I had a hyphenated last name? Huh?
That was a different girl, though, right?
No, he's back next to the blonde. Trust me, I saw it.
Wow. Just folds buttons.
What kind of hands are you folding on the button?
Probably ones like 8-3, 9-4, stuff like that. 10-5 might raise 10-5. It's just hands that play very badly post flop because I'm probably min raising every button and they're probably defending pretty light too, so you're gonna have to play a lot of flops. So you try to play like some suited, connected, you know, that type of hands, like 8-7 offsuit or like 9-7. All that stuff is fine to raise.
Just the only hands you're folding are total no man's land hands.
Yeah, just no like 6-gap, non-suited, everything below a 10. I think that's like a good thing to hold to.
This is hand number 200 of the final table. It's raise and take it for Joel Mika. This set costs a lot of money. Please don't destroy it.
I don't like that kind of stuff. When they start cheering against the other guy. Like if you want to cheer for a guy, that's fine. But to say like Dimitri's got nothing. Yeah, accept the chip lead. What?
And also his name is not Dimitri, so that's mildly insulting as well. Unless he's talking about another guy named Dimitri, who's not involved in the tournament.
Isn't it Dimitri Onchev?
Dimitar.
Oh,
Dimitar.
Wow.
You had me doubting it for a second.
Yeah.
Oh my God, why is that being shown?
You're the only one who can see it, Joe. The audience don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah, but if it's on there, that means it could be broadcast at any moment.
I think it will be, and because it was played out 40 minutes ago, I can't stop it happening. As much as I'd love to.
That is amazing.
Oh boy.
People are going to be in for a treat.
Yep, people hope they didn't want to keep their dinners down.
Well, we'll put the word treat in inverted commas.
Oh God.
Wow.
At least it was brief.
No, last year.
Last year's heads up, how long did it last?
So, a quick little backstory there.
No, you don't get that one.
Yeah, no, I just did that for no reason. No, our director of photography last year said to me, hey, I got this new camera. I want to horse around a little bit and shoot you in slow motion. Don't worry, no one will ever see it.
You don't think that was weird?
I fell for the oldest trick in the book.
Why would you ever believe him? Do you think he's going to waste his time shooting something in slow motion that's not going to make the edit?
It's not like he wasted film or tape.
Well, that's kind of like your opinion, dude.
I got to get a better agent. Or an agent.
Let's pick up the
You know
action
anyone?
here. Danchev raised the button, Mika called. Mika has checked that flop, and Danchev will continue for 360,000. Mika calls. Mika checks a second time, and this time Danchev checks behind.
He's probably not getting a fold out of a 10 even, so I like his check.
Danchev pairs his jack on the river.
Tough spot, because if he bets here, he probably is very ace heavy in his range. He doesn't bet at 10, so I think easier said than done, but I think a fold here would be correct. Because he doesn't bet any pair lower than
805,000.
Ace.
By the way, if we could go back to the truffle shuffle that you guys just saw of mine, that was last year, okay? I'm looking way better than that this year. Way better. You know why? Because my shirt's still on.
Sorry, Adam's just tweeted Stapes. Is either your mother or your father a bear? You are hirsute. Oh dear, this guy.
Oh boy.
I think
he just stood up after drinking a Bahama Mama, you
yeah,
can tell.
I think this guy needs to switch to water.
I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just gonna walk it off. Wasn't asleep, was resting my eyes.
Hashtag
Where am I?
PCALive if you want to get in touch on Twitter. By the way, things have evened out. Danchev's still in front with 15 million, but Mika back up now to 14 million.
Just grinding all the small pots again.
Hey Mika, you so fine. You so fine, you blow my mind. Hey Mika.
It's a fold, right?
Tony Basil. Went on to be a very successful choreographer, by the way. Yeah.
How do you look like?
Got some more uninteresting facts about 80s pop
I don't
stars?
even know what you're talking about. No one cares. All they care about is that line. Tony Basil?
You saw, by the way, again in the last hand where Mika bets the river. He did it very nonchalantly. Like he kind of threw the chips in, and before with a bluff, he kind of like put them out forcefully.
With the extra little flourish on the end.
He did like a little flick, like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, so, I mean, you know, Danchev could pick something up from that because that's a clear tell that, you know, he showed both sides of the tell now, the bluff and the value.
The flick is something that I've heard people talk about before. That extra little, it's just kind of them trying to sell it.
Yeah, he just like kind of like threw them in there instead of cutting them out.
Lewis has a burning question for you, Stapes. He says, when you took off that vest, were you wearing another vest underneath? Or was that actually chest hair?
Wow, this is amazing.
I'm as God made me. Sir. In some cultures, it's considered virile.
You mean in the animal kingdom?
Oh, we got some more.
Oy vey. You know how hard it was to flex my back muscles like that?
You love the attention. Rob describes it as niche erotica on Twitter.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Hey, can we get some more drinks over at the feature table?
Bahama Papa.
475.
We want mamas, papas, and the whole family.
So Mika limps the button, and
This guy is going.
yeah, he's
Oh boy, here we go.
oh my god.
Here's the thing is, he passes out on the floor, Blonde picks him up, cut to, 1 year later, they're getting married.
Is he in between them on the floor?
I don't think so, I think he's to the right.
Robbie's checking it out as well.
We're going to need a sleeping bag at the feature table.
Oh, we've got a race here if we see all 5 cards.
Check.
Diamonds, king, club, 8 of hearts.
I doubt that's going to happen.
Pretty awesome flop for both players.
I can't believe that Danchev checks that behind.
Deuce of diamonds.
Seems like there's a lot of missed opportunity for aggression.
Yeah.
Check.
Check.
Bet 450.
King on the river.
Pretty good
Mika
value bet.
bets.
Pretty good value bet from Mika. He just hopes that he gets a call from a check through ace high. I think there's a big chance that Danchev would have bet an 8 on the turn anyway, so it's pretty safe.
You've upset Miguel. He says, that dude's video, he forgot to wax before traveling to the Bahamas. What a shame. A hairy in the Bahamas, yuck.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, right now. You guys didn't get a count, right?
What's the count? Approximate.
Looks like we're coming to the end of the level, by the way. As they are almost even in chips. Danchev with the slight advantage. We're
12-5,
going to say
12,
many
13.
thanks to Lex Veldhouse.
Thank you guys.
You got like
13 to 16 or something.
Danchev with the slight chip advantage at the moment. 15.12 million. Mika with 13.95 million. So pretty even as the blinds go up to 100 and 200,000 with a 30,000 ante. James Hartigan on commentary duties. Hashtag PCALive to get in touch on Twitter. Email nuts@pokerstars.tv. We have lost
Makes it a lot easier if it was a 25.
the other 6 players from this final table.
make it
We've
a lot
reached the
easier if it was
business
a
end
25
of the tournament.
Yeah. 30,000.
This is the 10th ever PCA main event. One of these two guys will join this gallery of champions and follow in the footsteps of players like Gus Hansen, Elke, and last year's champ, John DeBella.
15-7.
15-1.
15-1? Okay.
A quick hello to Tad on Twitter, who says, in between the Stapes Erotica and the guy smashed on the rail, this has to be the best live stream ever. And a nice heads-up match. It's been pretty gripping stuff so far. Mika at one stage had the huge chip advantage, but then he doubled up Danchev, lost a big flip. Danchev with pocket deuces, Mika with ace-king. The ace-king didn't hit, and that's how we got to the stage we're at now.
Raise makes it 400,000.
So first hand back from the break, hand number 210 of the final table. A raise from Joel Mika to 400,000. And Danchev will 3-bet with Jack-8 off from the big blind.
25,000. Calls.
Mika calls. He'll play the flop in position. And that flop is 10 high. Will Danchev continue? He will bet
750,000.
750,000. And Mika won't be going anywhere.
More calls.
He certainly calls. So we go to the turn with 3.8 million in the middle. 4 of diamonds on the turn. Danchev does have the 8 of diamonds in his hand. So he picks up the flush draw now. And often when a player's equity increases, they will keep up the aggression and will fire again. Or will he go for the free card? Pleased to say I've been rejoined in the booth by Rick Dacey, staff writer at the PokerStars blog.
Good evening.
Obviously, a lot of action since we last had you in here, Rick.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, more than anything, there was that enormous flip, wasn't there, which could have easily settled it there and then, and everyone could be at the party. But Lady Luck didn't play it out that way.
1625. 1,650,000.
Danchev has not moved all in.
Yeah, that would have been pretty bold into a 3.5 million pot.
1,625,000, and Mika calls again. Danchev looking for a jack or a diamond on the river. It is a jack.
That makes it easier to get value out of than the diamond, of course.
7 million in the pot. This is a big hand. Mind you, this is the first hand back from the break.
a fairly grim spot for Mika here because he's had the best hand throughout. Danchev is fairly unlikely to have a 3 here, but could he have caught the jack? And Mika's shown that he's willing to make the occasional big call, and actually having second pair with top kicker, or close to top kicker, it's going to be a relatively quick call, you'd imagine.
2.8 million by the looks of things. As we come back from the break, the rail slowly building again. Seemingly more of a decision for Mika than we thought it would be.
Yeah, perhaps he's trying to talk him, talk himself into a fold, but I think it's going to be difficult to do so. I mean, that's certainly the expression on his face, anyway.
Counting out the call. He's counting his total stack. How much is he going to be left with if he makes the call and is wrong? And we can see he will be wrong. He got rivered. He does call. Danchev will table the jack.
Jack 8. Coleman.
Danchev will now open up a huge chip lead. 21.5 million plays 7.5 million. And if you have just joined us, let me remind you about the 2 players you are watching. This guy, Joel Mika, plays online as JM Prodigy. He's racked up more than $350,000 in online tournament winnings. He came second in an LAPT event in 2008. He won a high roller event at the Macau Poker Cup. And he cashed in last summer's World Series of Poker main event. Now, Dimitar Danchev, who qualified online for $700, has been here before. When I say has been here before, I mean heads up on the EPT in San Remo in season 8. He pretty much chopped with Andre Patichuk, but of course they still have to play it out, and he ended up the runner-up. So he's looking to go one better. He's had that runners-up spot on the turn. Now he wants to be the first Bulgarian to win an EPT title.
And he came very close in San Remo. There was a huge hand. It was actually one of the only moments in the entire tournament Patichuk actually seemed to put a foot wrong. Got it in really bad and hit 2 running cards to suck out Danchev.
Does that sound right? 7-5? Yeah, 7-5.
Thank you.
So Danchev may feel that he has unfinished business as he raises his button with 9-10 suited. Gets the call from Joel Mika.
It's a pretty looking hand.
Ace, ace 10 flop.
Ace of clubs, ace of spades, 10 of spades.
I mean, there was no 3-bet by Mika there, so you've got to feel your 10's pretty much golden.
Bet 300. Oh.
300,000. Full calls.
So C-bet of 300,000. Still not 100% sure about Mika's hole cards, but he check called the flop. Okay, we've got an 8.
Check.
Check.
I mean, he certainly could have called with a sort of, king high type hand there.
So check on the turn, check on the river.
The dark goes 10-9. They will chop this pot.
Both with a pair of 10s, and they will chop that pot.
I mean, throughout the entire final table and the majority of the heads up, Joel's looked really relaxed, really centered, and it's now starting to get to him. You know, that Jack on the river, at times like that, you just sort of feel that everything's going to go against you. But he's a great player, so he's got every chance here.
Hello to Max on Twitter, who says, just tuned into PCALive, glad I didn't miss all of the live stream. Is there a high roller free roll for the webcast tomorrow? Yes, there'll be another PCALive free roll. And just to remind you that our coverage of that high roller tournament will commence at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which I believe is 8 p.m. Central European Time.
Sure, why not? Everyone's got apps on their phones these days. They can check themselves.
Raise makes it 600,000. Go fold. Debit roll in the spot.
Take an easy pot.
A raise and a 3-bet, which gets the job done. So that was hand number 212 of the final table. Roughly the 80th or so hand of heads-up play. And Mika down to 37 big blinds.
And it seems in relation to his stack, his rails binned at the same time. They're probably at the bar.
Samantha on Twitter says, sitting here watching Joel, so crazy that first place gets 1.9 million and second 1.2 million. Bring home the win, homeboy. I mean, yes, they're both obscene sums of money, one more obscene than the other, but a big gap. I mean, as we come to expect from tournament poker, Rick, you know, the ladders are pretty steep.
Sure, and certainly at this part of the tournament where all the money's lodged in the top 3 spots. Obviously, when you've got 1,000 runner field, then it's obviously lodged in the top 3, 4, 5 spots. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure on these two guys, but they've both been here in this kind of situation before. They both want the title, and as much as the money's going to be a concern, I think at this point it's just a focus on the win.
And remember, no deal has been done. They are paying for those sums of money. So Danchev was the pre-flop raiser, and he continued on that flop for 425,000. Mika with the best hand. Got a lock on the hand. Goes check, check on the turn. How does Mika feel about his pair of kings? Enough to win the pot without even actually betting. All he had to do was reach for the chips, and Danchev says, you've got it. And notice that the Mika rail has gone pretty silent now.
I think that was Brady Austin. Or was it Austin Brady? I get mixed up with some of these American names.
Here, did I ante already? I'm good on the ante.
Thank you.
I think some of the crowd are starting to come back.
Happy hour's obviously over.
Graceful.
Button raise from Joel Mika gets the job done. So let's recap how we got to this stage, how we got from 8 to our final 2. First man out was the Portuguese player, João Nogueira. But a great ROI, in for $1.10, won himself 165 grand. Jan Dion was next man out for 230,000. Then came the double elimination, Andrei Shatilov and one of the other Canadians, Owen Crow. Shatilov out in 6th, Crow our 5th place finisher. And we lost our final Canadian, Jonathan Roy, in 4th for 560,000. Lost a big flip, 7's cracked by Ace Jack. And the guy who started the day as chip leader, Jerry Wong, went out in 3rd place. So it's Joel Mika against Dimitar Danchev, heads up. We bid adieu to Rick Dacey. You've got writing to do, Rick. And we welcome back Joe Stapleton.
Thank you, Rick.
And obviously the advantage very much now with Danchev, Joe. Has the chip, seems to have momentum. And the JMP rail considerably more muted than they were during the last level.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Feeling good?
Feeling great.
Feeling great, okay. Give me my usual pep talk.
Mika says he's feeling great. Is he really feeling great?
I might need a pep talk.
Make sure you're feeling good.
Always.
Danchev gets a walk. I did have a pretty good tweet.
Sure.
I might come over there.
Sent directly to my personal account. Mattia says,
Yep.
whatever Danchev paid for that sweater, it's net worth it. A man after my own heart.
Last time, I promise.
Don't worry.
You gonna steal that one and use it on the TV show?
I don't steal.
Borrow?
Nope. Nothing of the sort. It's against the comedian's code, and one day I hope to be a comedian.
Pay homage?
Yeah, all right, homage is a little different. But no, that would be stealing.
Hello to Ronan, who says, watching live from Ireland while playing low stakes on Stars, someday I wish to be in that seat. Which seat? Danchev's seat or Mika's?
I'd like to be in the seat with the wasted blonde on the rail, personally. We got two shows going on here. The poker and the drunk railing crew. They should just let me go out there and have a few beers and do commentary from there.
Raise 400,000.
We'll take that as a no.
The resounding silence.
Mika's button raise, defended by Danchev.
4 of clubs, 7 of clubs, deuce of diamonds.
Danchev continuing to take that pretty passive line pre-flop.
Check. Bet.
Checks, so that's 400,000.
Joel continues. With his jack high, king high still good. He's got the call out in front of him. Now he does.
11. 11.
That's not a call, that's
Whoa.
a raise. He's check raised to 1.1 million.
King high check raise.
1,100,000.
See if Mika tries to get cute. He does not.
Okay, it's getting a little bit frisky out there.
Boy, I don't know which show's more entertaining. You do not steal a man's hat, however. Steal the girl. Don't touch the hat. That hat had all his mojo.
Christian's just tweeted to say he's looking forward to the EPT Deauville streaming, seeing all the tournament from day 1A through to the final table. Stapes and I are going to be in it for the long haul. It begins with a road trip from London to Deauville, which Stapes is still a bit skeptical about. And wow, we have got a flop here. Trip sixes for Mika. Top pair for Danchev.
Hi-ya.
Mika checks. Danchev continues. Made it 400,000 pre-flop. His C-bet is 350,000.
Will we see Mika double up here? Seems like a spot where it could happen.
Raise
850.
makes a total 850,000.
Raises to 850.
That's right. Danchev really shouldn't be getting away from this very often.
$8 million before the hand. He has like 8 million before the hand.
Oh, I thought he was raising to 8 million.
Which would actually put Mika all in.
It would be a big raise.
Call.
Danchev makes the call.
calls. And card 8 of hearts.
8 changes nothing.
Danchev's going to have the best hand a lot of the time.
Back.
Mika almost all of the time.
So that's 1,500,000.
1.5 million.
Now after he calls your raise on the flop and then leads into you, it does look pretty strong. I still don't know how you can fold. He's just bet a huge portion of his stack.
He calls. Mika has less than a pot-sized bet behind. One can imagine he aims to get it all in on the river.
I don't see how it doesn't.
Number card 4 spade.
Time to bring it on down to Valueville.
All in.
All in.
He does shove the river. Danchev looks sick to his stomach.
He hasn't
How
snap
much is that?
called.
Just roughly.
Roughly 5 million.
So he's got to call 5 million to win 10 million. 2 to 1 on his money. Is he going to win this 1 out of every 2 times? Is Mika ever risking his tournament life on a bluff?
Danchev lays it down.
That is a really good laydown.
Guys, you wanted a call, trust me. You wanted a call.
Now Mika may not be bluffing very often, but he could be doing it sometimes with a smaller ace.
So it's now 18.6 million for Danchev, 10.47 million for Joel Mika. Chris Joseph has just tweeted, guys, it's 3:45 a.m. here in England. Awesome heads up. Glad I'm finally on Twitter and appreciate watching this.
Well, that's a heck of a screen we got there. Looks like it's a window to outside.
400,000. No call.
Come on. Go on, Joe White.
Danchev defending with 9-7 offsuit. Pairs is 7.
Check.
Mika's checked the flop.
525,000.
Danchev leads now. His pair is good. Mika releases.
Danchev gets some back. Back up to 19 million.
You know, this heads-up match still could go for a while, even though there's a pretty big difference in their chips. Mika's got over 50 big blinds.
Now, Ali, who was meant to be studying, and we've established is male, says, I challenge Stape to do the rest of this level in an accent other than his own.
Not a chance. At 67 minutes.
Man of 1,000 voice.
Well put.
Dane on Twitter says, Mika repeatedly acts really fast when he's flopped well. I'm not big on live tells, but he seems to do it every time he has a big hand. I think Mika's been pretty quick regardless of whether he's got it or not.
No, but we haven't been watching. Maybe he is slightly quicker when he's hit the flop. I don't know that Danchev has noticed, however.
I think he just passed out.
Although, you know, folding the ace there was pretty solid. He had invested a lot of chips in that hand.
Raise 4.
Raise and take it for Danchev.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Aman on Twitter says, we're great to see video of your booth. I want to see you commentators along with the PokerStars team pros. Trust me, you don't.
It's a very cliched term, but face for radio certainly applies here.
Raise 400.
Plus, if they were cutting in video of us in the booth, it would be from 40 minutes ago when we were commentating on something different. It would completely interrupt the space-time continuum.
It would rip a complete hole in it, and the universe may fold in on itself. And I don't want that on my conscience, personally.
Stapleton Prime might travel through that wormhole. He's sobered up a bit, that guy. Look, he's able to almost stand up now.
My parents always said I would be the end of the known universe, and I just don't want to prove them right.
Raise 400.
To be fair, they wouldn't still be around to be smug if the universe was destroyed.
My head just exploded.
It's late and it's getting deep. 11 o'clock local time. I know that many of you around the world are watching at very strange times of day. Well, we've got Gerhard's obviously in Europe saying it's 6 a.m. and college needs me. Bye.
This is certainly a strange time of day for me to be sober. Feels weird.
Well, I have to say, Gerhard, if you have to leave the house, you could always take us with you if you have an iPhone or an Android device. Download that PokerStars TV app.
Check? Is that already check? Oh, check's the big blind. I'm an idiot. My bad.
Check. Back 200.
So this is one of those hands where Mika limped the button by betting the flop.
Limp the button, flopped huge. 9 high, no good.
Good luck to the 70 players still in the PCALive free roll, which started the better part of 4 hours ago.
Oh, a little bit.
There will be another free roll tomorrow, and the password will be revealed on this live stream. A few cynics on Twitter have pointed out there has been a pattern to the passwords and have already guessed what tomorrow's will be.
Are they right? Is she right?
We're going to change it. So, ha. We have the power to do that.
Well, we don't.
When I say we, I meant the collective we, not you and I.
Someone who makes way more money than us does, though. No early admission to free rolls. Change the password.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, guys.
Your mom is so embarrassed right now. Just kidding. We're receiving word that your mom fist bumped. She loves you very much. Dealer cam, hello.
Yeah, those are fun.
Let's get in on that name tag, huh? I'm gonna go with Marge. Let's just settle on Marge.
Stefan tweets to say, I've just noticed I've been watching for 9 hours. Could we reach 12 hours? It's possible. Pretty deep right now.
Stefan, if I could give you one word of advice, please go check on your children.
We have had live streams and final tables that have gone on for 14 or 15 hours.
If those final tables were still happening on a boat, it would have ran aground.
And number 229 of the final table. There's the raise from Nika. We know he has a queen, and we know Danchev is calling from the big blind with ace-5. King, deuce, deuce flop.
Another just call with an ace.
About 3.25.
325,000.
325,000.
I think if you're gonna just call with an ace pre-flop, you kinda gotta call again. He does.
Turn card 10 of hearts.
Board getting worse for just ace high.
Check.
Checks.
Check.
Checks as well.
Check, check on the turn.
Card 10 of clubs.
Danchev must be feeling pretty good about his hand.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it too. The running tens make it
Board.
pretty unlikely.
Check, check, open, please.
There we go. He says board.
Two pair with
Show you a camera if you don't want it.
The running tens make it pretty unlikely that Mika had a 10.
Ace 5 for 2 pair with an ace. He will win this pot.
Alex asks on Twitter, how far are we off this being the longest heads up in PCA history?
Days.
Still think we're several hours away to give you a genuine answer. Remember, the heads up battle between Galen Hall and Chris Oliver did go into the early hours and saw the chip lead change quite dramatically several times.
This year they're only playing for 1.8 and 1.2 million. Chump change. It's pretty funny how the smelly, drunk right side of the rail has slowly cleared out.
Call. Roll checks.
Danchev limps with 10-6, flops top pair.
6 of hearts.
Mika's caught a piece of this.
check.
Checks.
Mika's got a gut shot to go with his pair.
He's checked to the pre-flop. No, not the pre-flop
Limper.
aggressor. He was a limper, that's right.
You know, this is one of those hands that Lex said he might fold pre-flop, 10-6 off. Because technically you can flop a straight with it. So they're connectors.
Stefan gets back to you, Stapes, to say, sorry to disappoint, I'm 19 and don't have any children, nor any planned in the future. However, Maxine has a daughter. She says it's now 4 AM in Scotland and I really need to sleep. My daughter will wake up about 7, but I can't help watching though.
Like 9, by the way. Like 9.
Sorry.
I got 9.
Oh,
Just in case.
thank you.
And Sankir Poker says, what's the longest final table you guys have ever commented? Copenhagen, 2008, easy answer.
I have no recollection. They all feel about the same to me, somewhere between 20 and 40 hours.
This is the 100th hand of heads-up play. Danchev considerably more aggressive than Mika.
And what's really bizarre is it doesn't feel like it. It feels like Mika's been more aggressive. But we did see Mika sort of change up his play. At one point, started limping his button more.
And now Danchev's kind of following and gone with the flow. And has disguised the strength of his hand here by limping that ace on the button, which means that Mika, with second pair, will call that bet. In fact, he's going to raise with it. Danchev bet 200,000. Mika makes it 475 total.
It's an interesting raise. There are some worse hands that will call you. Not a ton. The board's fairly dry. So I think that call there should really narrow Danchev's range quite a bit. And Joel takes his foot off the gas. Danchev checks behind. Check, check again. Looks like
aces is good.
Joel got the information he needed. Raising on that flop.
So Danchev increasing the gap between them. 20.85 million plays 8.22 million.
Now, I'm not necessarily saying that Danchev should be going for value in all these spots, but he seems to check back the best hand quite a bit. And you have to wonder if he is missing some value in some spots.
More than 100 big blinds for Danchev, fewer than 50 big blinds for Mika. The 100-200 level.
Raise 400.
Button raise from my friend Mika. Danchev counting out a couple of grays.
Those are the 100,000 chips.
He's got more than just a call out there.
11.
There's a 3-bet with 2 sixes.
1.1 million. Could you show the camera again? Bill folds. And then Madara will win the spot.
Mika folded 10-5 offsuit there.
Another one of those hands that maybe you can think about ditching. We used to call it 10-5 in my home game, the hand that never wins.
Chris asks on Twitter, could we see some kind of chop here? Danchev looking really bored, and the rail looking like Dawn of the Dead. I mean, at no point has anyone even raised the idea of deal discussions or just looking at the numbers.
Has there ever been a boredom chop? Just you guys are like, I'm just over this. Can we chop? That's what happens in every home game. Someone gets tired of shuffling eventually, like, can we just chop this, please? Maybe the dealer should just present it. Guys, the party's going on. Can we just figure this out?
Well, this is significant. Mika has now dropped down to 38 big blinds.
And I think that's the shortest we've seen him, at least in heads up.
It's almost like death by 1,000 cuts. Little by little, Danchev is doing the damage.
Which is exactly how Mika was treating Danchev before that big coin flip.
Since then, the momentum has been with the Bulgarian.
Big hand for Mika. Pocket pair for Danchev.
Ten of diamonds, deuce of spades, jack of diamonds.
Mika misses, but he can't hate that flop. 2 overcards and a gut shot.
Check, check. Card 4 of spades.
Board doesn't get too much worse for Danchev. See if he likes his pair any better now. Now let's go on check, check. He does. Mika makes the call. Ace queen. Pretty strong. 6 on the river. 3s are good. Danchev really hasn't been going for much value, so I would expect a check here.
you reckon Mika checks behind, hoping the ace high is good?
Pocket
Yes, he
threes.
does. Pocket threes will win the pot. Another pot gets pushed towards Dimitar Danchev.
1,001 cuts.
Quick question on Twitter from Dane. Stapes, you mentioned you wanted to be a comedian. Have you actually ever done any stand-up?
I have done some stand-up. I'm pretty new to it. By the way, it was supposed to be a joke when I said I want to be a comedian. But I guess apparently it just came out as straightforward. Yeah, I've done some stand-up around LA before I moved out of there. I'm actually moving to London in a few weeks, and I'm hoping that my accent over there can maybe give me some extra laughs that I don't really deserve.
34 big blinds now for Mika as we reach hand number 236 of the final table.
That was super classy, by the way, bro. Flipping the bird to the camera, super classy.
400.
The min raise from Danchev on the button with ace-queen. Pocket fours for Mika.
On.
And he shoves.
Whoa.
And Danchev calls. They're flipping once again. Last time it was Mika flipping for the title. Now it's Danchev flipping for the title.
And it was Mika's sort of frustrated shove last time too, which this sort of, you know, harkens back to.
Last time it was deuces for Danchev, and it was Mika with the overcards, and the deuces held. Now it's Danchev with the overs looking to hit on the flop. And there is an ace on the flop! And that puts Joel Mika at risk. Dimitar Danchev looking to go one better than he did in San Remo in 2011. Looking to become the first Bulgarian champion on the European Poker Tour. One card away from lifting the trophy and winning nearly $1.9 million.
Just 2 outs, a 5% chance.
Only a 4 can save Joel Mika, or he will be the runner-up. Danchev has done it! He has won PCA 10. He's the main event champion. And he will collect nearly $1.9 million. Joel Mika Sr. feeling disappointed, but let's not forget the second place still pays more than $1 million. $1,190,000 to be precise. Waving the Bulgarian flag, firmly #1 on the all-time money list for that country, and winning Bulgaria its first title on the EPT, Dimitar Danchev. So disappointed when he got that bad beat in the heads-up battle against Andrei Patachuk in San Remo back in season 8. And now he is a winner. I hope you'll all agree this has been a pretty good final table. Lots of action, lots of entertainment. The momentum was with Mika at the start, but then it shifted to the Bulgarian, and he comes out on top. And I hope you've enjoyed our live coverage, whether you were watching online at PokerStars.tv or whether you were watching on the PokerStars TV app. Make sure you join us tomorrow for our live coverage of the High Roller Tournament, as we relive the moment that flop was dealt. Danchev spiked the ace, and Joel Mika found himself drawing to a 2-outer to survive. Didn't hit on the turn or river. We have our winner in this tournament, and tomorrow we'll have a winner in that 25K high roller. And you can watch every single hand as they play down from 8 to a winner from 2 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow afternoon. And once again, we'll be working our way through your questions and comments on the emails and on Twitter. nuts@pokerstars.tv is the email address. Hashtag it PCALive. This is how the final table of the main event has finished, with Dimitar Danchev out on top. The two Americans finished 2nd and 3rd. The Canadians 4th, 5th and 7th. The Russian, who was in for his frequent player points, 6th for 325,000. And that Portuguese player who's only been playing poker for 8 months. In his first live event, João Nogueira turns a $1.10 investment into more than $165,000. Joel Mika flew his family out here. He had a very supportive rail. they got a bit muted when they consumed perhaps one too many drinks, and also when Joel lost that chip lead and was just getting pounded on by Danchev. But the Bulgarians were celebrating at the end, pounding the set, as their guy got the job done. And he joins the list of players who've had a second place finish and then a win on the EPT. So let's hear from our champion Dimitar Danchev. He's on the floor with Stapes.
Dimitar, you finished second at EPT San Remo in Season 8. How good does it feel to finally be a winner?
I can't find words to describe how it feels. It feels amazing, really.
And I know that all of Bulgaria stayed up late to watch you.
Yeah.
Many people have said that you're the best player in Bulgaria. How does that feel?
I appreciate that. I really, without the support, it wouldn't be possible. I really felt the support. And here also my friends support me, so I would like to thank them, really. This is for them too.
Is there anything you want to say back home to everyone in Bulgaria? Say it in Bulgarian.
Yeah, Bulgaria poker is developing really good, and I believe it will be on a very top level very soon.
Sounded a lot like English to me. Yeah. Let's get a big round of applause for our PCA 10 main event champion, Dimitar Danchev.
Danchev does it, and many players have known that feeling, to have come second. Players like Elke, players like Michael Tereniak, but then to have come back and then have scored the victory. And I'm sure that of all the tournaments you can win, Danchev will be very happy with this one. A huge score, and of course the prestige of being a PCA champion, the 10th PCA main event champion, and now he will receive that winner's trophy. So let's head back to the tournament floor for the winner's presentation.
Welcome to the winner's ceremony for the PCA 10 main event. 987 entrants in 6 days of thrilling poker, and we will finally have our winner. He is our 2013 PCA main event champion. He is 27 years old, lives in Bulgaria, and will walk away with $1,859,000. Let's give it up for Dimitar Danchev.
Awesome, man. I know you're thinking it's an awesome moment for you, bud. You played really well.
So Dimitar Danchev is an EPT champion. He's taken down the 2013 PCA. Stapes, this has been a blast, this final table.
And how adorable is he as a winner? I mean, he is just thrilled right now. I told him before the interview there, I said, look, it's over. You don't have to be nervous anymore. But he is, I think, equal parts thrilled and just still just bombarded with nerves.
Thanks to all of our co-commentators today. All the members of Team PokerStars Pro have joined us in the booth. We're back for the higher roller tomorrow at 2 Eastern, but from Joe Stapleton and me, James Hartigan, good night from the Bahamas.